Oh, yeah. We up in this beach. What up, Seer? Nice to see you here. I like when you say heathen. It reminds me of simpler times when we all went and watched Suicide Squad in theaters. Back in like 2016 or 17. No. Before Harambe happened. Before the collapse. Can we start calling that the collapse? Once Harambe started, then the collapse began. Yeah. Wait a minute. What did I say? Vicious. Let's see. Spicy. Capture's looking good. I would really like a disruption. One of these is capture. Axie? Nice.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Success. The captive is safely in our hands. Congratulations, Tenno. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant.
If I don't go feed my cat right now, he might actually burn my house down. Eat your food. Shit. Huh? Oh, there it is. Wait. See that I'm putting in some Revenant, dude? I got a dope skin for him. I was like browsing through the skins yesterday. I saw this one. And I was like, I think I'm gonna have to play some Revenant, dude. And buy that skin. Sometimes I like fashion enough. Sometimes it'll be the whole reason I'll play somebody. And I know that Revenant is like actually somebody I need to have in my pocket anyways. So yeah. See, this is, remember we were talking about needing stars for our sculptures, dude? I never fucking don't pick one of these baby stuff. I also, for a little while, I was crafting them out of the recipe you can buy for Vitus Essence. So I had so many cyan stars. I think at this point I've got like 20 or so ambers. So I actually had a good amount of statues the other day. I've ran 187 missions for one mod, and I still haven't gotten it. I am about to return to Warframe. Oh, dude, that's tough. That's tough. And the first is India. Oh, I meant to drop by the PlayStation Store and download that shit last night. Give it a try and see if it tastes good. One thing I've definitely figured out is I'd definitely rather hang out with smaller communities playing free games. Even though, like, it's funny because Warframe has like a shitload of players and a really big community, but it doesn't actually bring like a ton of viewership. I think some of the YouTube videos people make over it get plenty of views, but largely speaking, like, I would argue that if you looked up First Descendia on Twitch, it's probably got like 6,000 viewers in it. I'm curious. Because every day that I go live to Warframe, before I go live, it like shows me my category and how many people are in it, and it's usually like 2,000 people. Can I go back to Twitch? Much less than that? Oh, really? I don't know. I feel like that game gets a little bit better in love. And I don't want to play it for viewership. That's not my point. It's just like I'm not hanging out in games that are getting 50k viewers on anything, and I'm not mad about it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the shitheads don't hang around small games. There's a heavy unit approaching. My mom's on the way? Ha, ha, ha. Nobody's ever said that joke before. Huh? Hey, I'm on my own front page. Browse. First. Oh, they're sitting around the same amount of people. Not bad. Dude, I did not realize how prominent fucking VTubers are. Like, it's not just a bunch of Twitch categories with them. It's like Instagram people. Like, I've learned that one of the funnier places if you just want to have a giggle, because I try to resist short form content as much as I can. I try to resist like intaking it as much as I can. And of course, you know, it's kind of impossible to just totally deny yourself one of the most entertaining things that's ever happened. So I usually default to YouTube shorts, and I keep it pretty targeted to like the educational stuff that I like and the UFC stuff that I like, or the this that I like. But you know what it feels like? Instagram's got some funny shit. It has a pretty good way of showing you things that'll make you feel like, hey, there's funny shit happening. Out of all of them. I just got the mod. Hey, man, all you needed was me to stream and you to come in here and bitch about it. And then they were like, all right, give it to the man. That's called streamer luck. You don't even need it. You just need to be talking to one or watching one. Have aura that gives you better luck. Is Khabib a goat? I mean, statistically, it's almost impossible to deny. But I mean, he's in a camp of people that's kind of like Floyd Money Mayweather. Like, no matter how much you want to say they weren't the best, you can't really say anything that proves that. That dude literally, like, it is the most barbaric shit I've ever seen in my life. Watching Nurmagomedov fight, dude literally just rolls in there and turns into a monkey. He literally punches, kicks, throws, slams, and fucking he is like running them down like they owe him fucking lunch money for the last 15 years. Every single one of them. It's been the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, watching Khabib fight, man. And like, I don't want to like him. I really don't. I keep trying to find reasons to be like, ah, fuck him. But pretty much no matter which way I look at it, I'm like, well, that dude kind of fucking crushed everybody. And not only that, he's actually doing a very good job of training newer fighters and being really good to the UFC community. So he's pretty much either a goat or the goat. A or the. It's there's a lot of really good guys out there, and it's really hard to. It would take me a good amount of time to determine whether or not he was like really the best of all time to do it. Because, I mean, if he was one of the best, shouldn't I just be sitting over here saying GSP is kind of the GOAT too? Because GSP was so technical and so fucking win-fasty. Because I would have to lean on somebody like, I mean, I really love the boxing prowess of Nick Diaz, man. I really wish I could have seen more of that. Statistically proves he isn't a GOAT. 99% of his record is recorded in his father's gym. This has been proven. He's defended his title against strikers and retired. Well, hey, look, I didn't dig that deep, but I mean, every single motherfucker he's ever taken in the cage has actually been destroyed by him. And every single thing that the general population has ever seen of him has been total and utter annihilation of his opponent. So, I mean, when the dude comes into the UFC and has televised events that look like absolute bonkers, it's not very hard to sell everybody that his record has always been impressive. You know what I mean? You really can't deny that. I understand semantics here that you could pull, but it's tough to deny that when the dude had a TV presence like that people are going to see him as one of the best. They put him up with a fucking 29-0 record, said this dude's undefeated, and then he goes in there looking like an undefeated motherfucker. How are people not going to think that? Every single one has been strikers, wrestlers have an innate advantage over them. It was all catered to him. Yeah, possibly, probably. But also, Connor wasn't a fucking joke. And like that matchup has to have worked out well for other people before. And the thing is if you're in the division where you're getting ranked up with other people, you're in the division where you're getting ranked up with other people. Your fighting style got you there, and if your fighting style sucks compared to somebody else, maybe it's time for you to grow. If one fighting style totally beats something else out, which is not something I'm led to believe in the entirety of history of combat sports, at least this combat sport where they mix it all up, because it's very easy for a professional within their own category to take out a professional in 3 categories if they're really that good at it. Connor is a joke, though. He had 1 round before gassing out. Yeah, but they also like it's also really hard to fight Khabib. That might have been the hardest fight of Connor's fucking career. If we really like got to put away this cup of haterade for a little while and consider the fact that nobody has ever fought Connor and just stayed on top of him and like fucking tried to. Khabib was trying to kill him. Khabib was all over him, throwing him around, yelling at him, bullying the fuck out of him. How do you not get gassed at that shit? And that is kind of like, yeah, of course you got gassed. Like that's a flaw. But there was no win condition for Connor, man. There was never a win condition for Connor. There was never an instance where Khabib wasn't going to turn him into a can of Pringles that got stepped on. That was never not going to happen. Because Connor talked a little too much shit. And like I said, I need to reiterate this. I really fucking do not like Khabib. And I'm looking for all the reasons in the world to think that he sucks. So let me make that as clear as I can. I don't fucking like the guy. And the only reason I respect him is because every time I watch that motherfucker on TV, he was doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Like literally exactly the thing he said he's going to do. I smash. And then you watch him on TV and he is throwing motherfuckers around like a rag doll. Literally just tossing them like fucking paper rag dolls all over the place. You know who I wish would have stayed in the UFC a little longer? Is Brock Lesnar. I really wish that dude would have hung out in the UFC for a little longer. I wish he would have had, I don't know, like 5 more fights. I really would have. For entertainment purposes, Brock was pretty fun to watch, man. And when he fought Frank Mir the second time, you remember that primal rage that Brock came out with, and we all knew as soon as that fight started, there's no possible way Brock Lesnar is going to let Frank Mir come out of this cage with another bullshit victory. There's no fucking possible way. And sure as shit, Brock ran him down and fucking clobbered him. I'm not saying Khabib is bad. I'm just saying his record has been manufactured and he has an easy ride in the UFC. He's never really been tested. And many fighters have actually destroyed Conor. Conor is probably the greatest hype man in the UFC. I think a lot of people have destroyed Conor. Nick Diaz absolutely fucked him up. But nobody took it to the degree that Khabib did. Nobody, not a single motherfucker gave the whooping that Khabib did. People gave half of it. People gave 75% of it. Nobody made him look like an embarrassment in the cage. He's been hurt. He's been fucked up. But nobody's made him look like he didn't belong. Khabib made it look like he did not belong. Dustin broke his leg and made Conor retire forever. Dunno, bud. Yeah, but that's an injury, and that happened to other people, and we didn't hate them for it. Did we? And he was an idiot. He wasn't supposed to be fighting with his like injured leg like that. And yeah, you as right as you are about a leg break, like it's not really fair to hold an injury against a fighter, man. No, of course it's a fact, but you know, when Anderson Silva broke his leg, of course that was embarrassing, but nobody was like, ha ha, motherfucker. We were like, oh no, we're not supposed to fucking, like, nobody wants that to happen, right? Nobody wants their opponent to have broken their leg checking a leg kick. So it's not like, you can call it his fault or that it makes him look bad, but dude, we don't hold injured athletes fucking account. Like, I mean, we hold them accountable for their injuries or whatever, but we're not like, it doesn't fucking count against them. Of course, they already lost the round. Is that not enough? And I don't particularly love Conor, but I think everybody deserves that respect. If they lost the fight because of an injury, it's not really, shouldn't sit around and be like, look at that. He got embarrassed by that. Like, of course that was fucking embarrassing. But that doesn't mean Dustin beat the fuck out of him. That doesn't mean that Dustin turned him into a fucking ragdoll and embarrassed him the same way that Khabib did. It means the dude got injured in the fight by a fucking unfortunate situation. Right? Yeah, that checks out for me. As an example, though, he has gotten destroyed by many bad, if not worse than Khabib. How Mayweather made him look like a novice. Okay, well, he looked like a novice against Mayweather, but didn't he last like 4 times the amount of time with Mayweather than he did with Khabib? Khabib made him look stupid, like he didn't belong. And yes, other people have beat his ass. I don't know if I need to find the rapper Common and slam him on the ground so we can find some common ground, but Khabib made him look worse than anybody else did. That May was playing with him. Mayweather is playing with him? Yeah, sure.
Don't forget the reactive. You need more to open that relic.
And doesn't that kind of prove my point? Mayweather playing with him, Khabib was trying to kill him. Isn't that kind of just what I'm trying to fucking say here? Nobody has ever walked in the ring with Conor and tried to fucking kill him that way. That just proves my point. So when I bring up like he lasted longer with him, it's exactly what I'm saying. And I have a hard time liking anybody in the UFC. But there are quite a lot of dudes that are crazy fun to watch forever. You seem to be lost on what I am saying. Honestly. The constant contradictions, you're getting a little confusing at this point.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
And my headspace could be bad for any conversation. So, yeah, you could be right. Not contradicting at all. Khabib destroyed him really bad for sure, but Conor has historically been really bad against wrestlers. Yeah, yeah. The part I'm trying to highlight is but Conor has historically been really bad against wrestlers. Of course he has. Khabib still did the best job of any of the wrestlers of making him look bad. And Nick Diaz made him look pretty fucking stupid too. I'll never forget that shit. Also, I don't really know if I love the UFC really supporting blood feuds like that either, though. I kind of look back on that sometimes, and there were a lot of instances where Dana's choices could have been very different, and we could have seen very different results from all that. Because part of the reason I don't really care for that fight is, like, of course, I love that it was real and those two dudes were really mad at each other, but that was part of the problem. Because it's not good showmanship or a good look on the UFC that they didn't have shit well enough under wraps to keep a fucking caged monkey from coming out of the cage, right? I mean, the dude literally, like, Khabib literally just left the cage and was able to start fighting people in the crowd within how many seconds? I've worked like physical security, not like IT security, in places. That's kind of like a no-no. Right? There's a difference in, like, the person gets on the stage and how long they were on the stage, right? Because we've had security guys that literally we've canned them because they are responsible for the reason we've been stung and lost. And we've had security guys who were drinking and sleeping on the job and let a guy climb on stage, which resulted in a tackle, an injury, a lawsuit. And in exchange for that, we had a very strong conversation about how we don't let the famous person out of the fucking stage area without extreme supervision. We also don't let people on the stage. So it was kind of a failure of all parties, right? How do you let a motherfucking dude leave the cage? First of all, if something actually happens to Khabib, I'm sure that litigation would land on it being his fault. But does he not have a really good opportunity to sue the UFC? Jones and Cormier? Jones and Cormier were like, dude, that was one of those things where I don't know if I don't like Jones either, but watching Cormier repeatedly fight him kind of felt like watching somebody try to repeatedly fight their older brother or something. It really felt that way.
We received intel that somebody vital to enemy operations is here. Find them and capture them. There are void fissures.
Baro.
Use these to crack.
Dude, I hope Baro sells Prime sure-footed today.
You found a fissure. Look out for reactant.
Baro, please. Wait, whoa, I missed my turn.
Target located.
Two of the greatest fighters in the UFC running it back. Yeah.
Collect it to open your void wall. The reactant is working on your relic. Find more.
There's a lot of argon crystals dropping now.
Track them down quickly.
Right now.
Excellent work.
I honestly was never, I never personally followed the work or any of the fights that Cormier was in. But I really love his fucking commentary, man. Him and I love all the commentators. And, like, say what you will about Joe Rogan, he's like a childhood love. for me because, I mean, the dude was announcing UFC when I was little. When I was like 13, 14, watching these dudes like Forrest Griffin. Dude, I've been watching it that long, since like Forrest Griffin, GSP, Nick and Nate. Nick Diaz, because Nate came, you know, in the last 10 years or so. Randy Couture and fucking dudes like that. Rampage. The earlier seasons of Tough. You know, I watched Nick Diaz in Tough before he ever became, or Nate Diaz in Tough before he ever became like extremely popular. And I really do miss like that era of the UFC. It felt like a really good time. Yo, you know who I ended up really liking that I didn't like for a long time was Chael Sonnen. I didn't like, when I was younger, I didn't like wrestlers very much, and I didn't like that fighting style. Even though I was a wrestler, I found it to be boring. I'm like, listen, you have the opportunity to punch them in the face and you're grabbing their leg. That's fucking lame, bro. Come on, get with the program. Anyways, I really loved the UFC back then with like Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. The Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz beef was awesome. And do you remember Dana wanting to fight Tito? Would you say Jones is the GOAT or Khabib is? And mind you, Jones has more title defenses than Khabib has fights in the UFC. Tell Jones to stop being a little bitch and go fight Tom Aspinall. And then I'll decide after that. Yeah, how many weeks before the fight did he fucking back out of that? I thought it wasn't going to be a problem. I thought he could handle him. I don't know. He's Tom Aspinall sucks ass though. Is that true? Is that like true? Then why did the entire world ask for him? And I thought he never agreed to fight Tom. That's not what I heard. I'm pretty sure they agreed to a fight and we're about to schedule it. Tom and John Jones fight. John Jones rejected 30 million fight. Tom Aspinall. He pulled out 2 days after they agreed. All right, then. Nah, he never did. All right. Before leaving the UFC heavyweight title vacant but deciding to retire, Jones record had a title unification bout against then interim champion Tom Aspinall on the table. It was a fight John Jones didn't want so much that he reportedly asked for $30 million to fight Aspinall, a number thought to be too far from reality. Apparently, the UFC called his bluff, offered him $30 million, and John Jones still turned it down. Some of my motivations aren't traditional anymore, Jones said on Jeffrey Wu's podcast. I don't think I care about what most fighters would care about. Most fighters wouldn't turn down $30 million. They just wouldn't do that. My goals are different than other people these days. Jones decided to retire. Okay. Sure, he never agreed to fight him, but Jones said, pay me $30 million and I will. And they said, all right, here's $30 million. And he said, nah, I'm going to retire. So tell me which of those I should respect more, because I don't respect either of them.
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting. Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic? You're near a fissure. The corrupted enemies are dropping reactant. Collect it to open your void relic.
Honestly. Because everybody was asking for Aspinall and Jones to fight, because Aspinall is the fucking up-and-coming dude that deserves a chance at a title shot. Jones says, all right, $30 million, I'll do it. And then they say, all right, here's your $30 million. And he's like, how about retirement instead? Listen, I wanted to see that fight. A lot of people wanted to see that fight. Jones shouldn't have done that. Jones wanted to fight for legacy. Tom actually wouldn't do anything for his legacy. Keep in mind, he has fought people that have been legendary in his whole career. Yeah, well, whenever Tom Aspinall is absolutely destroying people and like looks that good, has that good of a highlight reel, and literally everybody, including Aspinall and Jones, said multiple things in multiple fucking interviews. is asking for them two to fight.
Open the relic.
That would be really good for his legacy. John Jones shuts down the up-and-coming dude that was going to beat the fuck out of him. He was like the guy everybody expected to beat the shit out of him. Everybody rejoiced. Dana made a big deal out of saying, I'm going to get that shit set up. I promise. I'm going to fucking do it, man. I know everybody wants it. And yeah. You know, John Jones is a smarter Conor McGregor, because John Jones probably would have broke his leg in that fight and he knew not to get into it. John Jones might respect that his good times are done and he didn't stand a chance beating him. Listen, no matter what, his legacy ends up in a place where he was expected to fight Aspinall. He offered him $30 million, got accepted, and said, no, I'm going to retire. So why don't you tell me how his legacy looks whenever I have that opinion of him? Does it look like his legacy is looking good at this point whenever he comes off as the guy who turned down the fight that everybody wanted him to be in, and it was an opportunity to seal in his legacy? How? I mean, that's the way I feel about him. So do you really think he has a good effect on it? Besides Tom was getting murdered by Gain and Jones murked Gain in 2 minutes? Dude, that's not how power... What, are we power scaling? Are we power scaling fighters? He beat that guy, and that guy lost to that guy, so that guy can beat that guy. If Jones murked Gain in 2 minutes, shouldn't have been a problem to fight Aspinall. Should have been nice and easy. His legacy is factually unmatched in the UFC. He has the best factual legacy in the UFC. Him losing to Tom wouldn't have done anything. He already cemented his legacy. It's going nowhere. Listen, he cemented his legacy to me as a fucking loser, and that's how that is. If I'm not mistaken, the dude couldn't even keep his piss clean to participate in all of his fights, and dude doesn't have... He's got a lot of fucking blood on his walls. And then, in the public opinion, turns that shit down at the end of his career. So regardless of what it would have done for his factual record, still looks like a little bitch. It still doesn't come off good. It still doesn't look pretty. And people still talk shit about it. So you might be so far one of the very few good opinions remaining of John Jones. Not a whole lot of those are out there still. Great fighter, absolute dog shit fella. And if he's so great a fighter, why was it so hard to defend himself against the interim champion? Why is that? The amount of steroids he was discovered with is now legal in the UFC, so his record was clean. So, and don't get me wrong, Bucko, he is an actual piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna give him a pass, man. I'm not gonna give him a pass on not fighting Aspinall. He's not gonna get one. Everybody else decides to fight the up-and-coming guy who's gonna take their title. Nobody else begs for $30 million to do it either. Nobody else says, Dana, daddy, please give me $30 million to fight, and makes Dana roll over to it. Can you imagine that? And then Dana's like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it to you. And then you're like, nah, I'm good. That's a downright bitch move. That doesn't matter. And I would say that about any fighter. Any fighter who does that, pulls that shit, sucks. I don't like it when fighters pull out for literally no fucking reason or back down for no reason like that. It's stupid. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to see that fight, but it's whatever. I still think the actual go to the UFC is Mouse. Yeah, Mighty Mouse is crazy good. He's one of those guys that I literally didn't hear about forever, which is like kind of crazy. I don't understand how like the term and the name Mighty Mouse just like never didn't he pass away recently? I might be thinking of somebody else with a super similar like legacy and name in music or something.
Target located. Bring them in. Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back at base. Your part is done here, Tenno.
Man. Huh. Stat-wise, Jones is the GOAT. Fan-wise, Mouse is the GOAT. GSP is also a GOAT. GSP was really good. GSP's, like, I watched some of his interviews and podcasts. That, like, from what he says, he is literally, like, the guy who decided not to get bullied anymore. And he tells stories about, like, running into his old bullies when he goes and visits his hometown and they're like fucking homeless and shit. And he like shows them love still. And I think his story's pretty his story's pretty sad. He's he actually, if I'm not mistaken, he's got some belief that he's been abducted before because he has lost time incidents. Lost time in his brain. So he's got like a suspicion that he's been abducted. But when people heard that, whenever he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, most people kind of put it together that he's losing time. Which is really sad. Since record discovered to be manufactured, Mouse is a great dude. Did Mouse pass away? I'm pretty sure he did. Or I might be thinking of somebody from wrestling. I know a really. Am I thinking of somebody from wrestling? Now, Mighty Mouse is Demetrius Johnson, aka Mighty Mouse. That's not what I'm looking for. Mouse is alive. I think I'm thinking of. I'm having a hard time thinking of that guy's name. I was thinking of somebody else that died recently. With a name that starts with an M. I have such a bad memory association thing that I'll think somebody passed away just because somebody else with a similar name passed away. You know whose dick I never rode along with everybody else either was Israel Adesanya. I never hopped on that bandwagon with everybody else. I didn't think he was bad, but I have a very strong opinion, and I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't know if it's popular, but I do not like showboating, and I don't think that you should ever do it. So people who are very prominent in it, I don't like it. And if it's like your dodging style, I'm cool with that. But I was taught in serious competition that a moment of showboating is also an opportunity for your opponent. And I was also taught things like you should not showboat because if you lose, then you just look really stupid and you don't really stand a chance at redemption. If you, like, Anderson Silva is a really good example. When he fought Chris Weidman and got all silly and got his jaw smacked around, I don't think he ever had a chance for redemption. And when he did, look what happened to him. He broke his leg, and then that was it, man. And
a target know we're here.
you know,
Track them down
it
quickly.
just it's not good to get cleaned that way. So I kind of didn't like that about him. As far as I remember, Israel was a very showboaty dude. And I was like, listen, man, all these guys wind up in the same place, wishing that they had just taken it seriously.
Before they escape.
Mega overrated. Adesanya fucking sucks ass. I think he had a really good spell of victories where he looked good. And that's the thing, right? That's what I don't respect is he looked good because he was like styling on people. And then, you know, that shit doesn't work out forever. I'm just saying, if him and Anderson Silva had taken dodging as seriously as they had the skill to take it, they may have been hit significantly less. How do you feel about Canelo Alvarez? He's one of my favorites, and I'm not sure what's happened with his last 2 to 3 fights, and I know his career hasn't been as undefeated as it was. But I can tell you this much. I watched his fight with Mayweather while I was on a plane to the Dominican Republic, or on the way home from the Dominican Republic. And that I really love that fight as an expression of what really good boxing is. Because Canelo was able to keep on with him, keep him going.
Excellent work.
So, you know, you didn't get the chicken dance like you got with, what's his name? That Mexican fighter. I don't remember his name right now. The legendary dude. He might not be Mexican. I could be totally mixing that up and being wrong like an idiot. But the other guy, he's like really good at pool. Anyways. It was really cool to watch because you could tell that Canelo was not just in that fight. He was absorbing the information. He was sucking it in. He was watching how Mayweather would dodge. And what's really crazy is if you watch Canelo fight after he fought Mayweather, it's almost like he took his style a little bit. Because Canelo got really, really, really good at not getting hit. Those like last second shoulder dodges and turns and shit. He got real fucking good at that. I don't know if you watch boxing, Seer, but I also really like boxing. Just because I have a hard time following the UFC these days, it was where I landed recently. I don't mean this in a bad way, but the UFC has become, I could understand how this will be seen bad. And it is just that I don't know how to say almost any of their names anymore. And it is becoming harder and harder to become a fan of an individual because less and less of them are behaving like Chael Sonnens. And because, okay, the point is that Chael Sonnen does 2 things. He makes you either like him or hate him. And if you hate him, then you like his opponent, which it's like a driving factor to be invested in a fight. And I'm having such a hard time finding that anymore. Every shit talking battle just seems like, it doesn't feel like it's just 2 dudes that are actually mad at each other now. Like, I don't know. I need some of those comedian shit talkers to come back, bro. Real bad. The level of competition is low. That could be part of the problem. And people also may have learned that getting beat up is not a good way to live.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
You know, like, I think that's something that the Rogan podcast did for the greater health of people was to help them understand how bad boxing is to your head. Because they talk about that shit all the time. And he brought on a ton of fighters who talk about CTE and
Finish your mission to find
losing time. Like, imagine you grow up, okay? Like, you have to, like, this is a good perspective. Imagine you grow up and you watch Georges St. Pierre on TV. And you go, oh my God, dude, I can't. Someday, I'm going to be as good as he is. And then you're like 19 years old, you're training at the gym, and you go home and you see the GSP did a podcast and you go, okay, I'm going to go watch that. I'm going to listen to one of my idols talk for 3 hours. And somewhere in the middle of that, he highlights the darkest part of combat sports. And that's the fact that your brain is irreparably damaged and that you will lose time. You'll forget spending time with your family. You'll forget where you were. You'll forget if you slept. And then you decide, I'm not going to do that because I want to spend good, healthy time with my kids. So I think a lot of combat sports are going to see a decline like they have been, but more of one because people are kind of starting to realize, like, I don't want to play football. I want to play with my grandchildren when I'm 62. I don't want to box. I want to run around with my kid when he's 6. He would have a few years ago. Yeah. If Tom Aspinall wanted to fight Brock Lesnar, he better learn how to Frank Mir that ass, bro, because you got a good point. Though, I mean, like, it's really easy to be like, well, Brock couldn't really keep up with that kind of shit now. His cardio is probably not that great. You know, he hasn't been training. Bro, if he was in the UFC, he'd still be training. So, like, that defense people use is not very good. If Brock was in the UFC, he would be cleaning house, dude. Not only that, have you ever heard the argument that if what's his name? If LeBron James had decided to go into the UFC rather than basketball, we would all be fucked. I think there's some sort of like, if you kind of like directly compare kind of like the amount of time that LeBron James spends like training, working, and getting better at basketball, and if you compare that to the amount of time UFC people do, it's like really clear that LeBron put in a lot of effort. And that if you had taken that effort, that athleticism, and put it in the UFC, he might have been like the clean John Jones. Have you ever heard that argument? I've heard that, and I like it. I like to imagine a world where LeBron James was beating the fuck out of people instead of playing basketball. This is what I'm saying. Tom looks unbeatable because the UFC heavy division sucks ass now. Put Tom in that. Brock, Mir. Okay. All right, you got a point. I still think Tom Aspinall looks really good. And I think that it's like he's one of the only attractive people in the UFC right now. But you have a very good point. If I don't think Aspinall could beat Frank Mir. And if it came to striking, I think that he probably could. But the thing is it's not a striking competition. It's not solely a striking competition. So I'm almost 100% sure that Frank Mir would have broke his leg. I think Frank Mir would have dislocated his arm or broke his leg. I don't think there's any other option for how that would have played out, if I'm being super fucking honest with you. But Frank Mir was such a fucking beast, dude. And I never liked Frank Mir back in the day. It's something I like picked up later. I was like, yo, dude, like the more I look at this guy's like 280 pounds. He's a little dad body, which is like perfect, right? Just a smidge. Like he's not just pure cut muscle. And he's fast, and he's like an expert at submissions. And you know, that's something you don't see very often. You don't see a lot of heavyweight guys that are professional submission artists. And Frank Mir was like, yeah, he was so good at that shit. He was unbelievably good at submissions. And it's kind of scary. Like there's submission videos of him where he doesn't. Most submissions are kind of this back and forth of, hey man, I have your arm. Are you, do you have any defensive measures? I'll give you a moment. And then the other fighter's like, I have this one. And then you're like, I was ready for that. I got a tighter grip. Are you going to submit? And they don't really just go straight to breaking that shit. Frank Mir? No. No, he goes like straight to like I've like go like he just like straight up dislocated a dude's shoulder. Like I think he gave him like a split second. He's like, "Hey, I'm Frank Mir and I have a hold of your arm. Do you want to tap?" And that guy was like, "No, I think I'm gonna get out of this." And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna break this shit." And I don't. I think Frank needed a little lesson on battle etiquette. But on the other hand, that dude had a clean hold of your arm, bro. You should have tapped. Hell, if Jones moved UFC to the heavyweight in that era, he would have won the title. He wouldn't have won the title either. No. No, that's a good point. There's a lot of fighters from back then that would have fucking destroyed him. But I think that just kind of like speaks to what I was saying earlier. Like talent is leaving the UFC because only stupid will participate. So you're not getting a combination of like talented and good at fighting. You're getting like well-trained good fighters now. You know what I mean? You're not getting like, I don't know. I feel like there's still a lot of wonder stories in the UFC, but I don't think it's nearly as much of like, you know, I grew up in the poorest parts of Chicago and I was training at my Uncle Tommy's gym and then one day I got it. It's none of that no more. It's people destined to be there and shit. I think. I don't know, I'd have to watch it a little more closely. But you know what, man? One of the best seasons of The Ultimate Fighter was the one with Connor and Uriah Faber. That was a very, 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 very fun season. Jones was a goat in his division. The heavyweight was a massive jump for him. I don't consider his victories in the heavyweight now part of his actual legacy. That's fair. That's fair. I also think a lot of people, like, don't get me wrong, dude. I definitely respect the absolute monstrosity that John Jones is or was. A lot of people tried to fight or like were like, I don't, I guess this is a good way to this out there. A lot of people wanted to fight John Jones, and not very many of those people were somebody that John should be interested in fighting. And I don't think that Aspinall deserved to be labeled with people not even worth a second thought. You know, when some and it's like a respect for the show, right? That's all that was for me, really. It's like a, hey man, you know, you gotta give the people what they want. And the last fight I actually bought on pay-per-view though, man, was Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin 3. And that was just an educational match of boxing. Those two, it was really good to watch. They had some clean punches. It's like it's like you're waiting for one of them to land a clean hit. And finally they do, and you're like, ooh, yeah. That was a pretty good fight to watch, but on the other hand, it was a little bit of a clinical, little bit of an educational viewing. I love how exterminate missions turn into this so often, where you're just like, where is everything? Huh. Beaches? It's funny we can't leave that. Oh, there it is. There's the gate we can't leave. I was like, I can't leave this gate, but I can hit them through it. Okay. Okay. Where go? All right, Seer. Greatest rapper of all time.
Is broken. Well done.
Okay, no, since I know you're a metal person, who's the greatest metal band, heavy metal band of all time? Imagine Dragons? Nickelback? I'm sorry, dude. That was the whole point. I'm trying. Stop. Stop. Yeah, that's the reaction I wanted.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Is it Godsmack? Listen, this is the listen. You shouldn't have said, "Oh, bad." Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so stupid. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna pretend like nothing happened. Who's the best metal band of all time? I don't personally have an opinion on it. I'll come up with one. There's got to be a better fucking one of these at the moment. I'll try this.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Don't forget the reactor. You need more to open that belly.
Yeah, this is way better.
Open the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Yeah.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Still think about fucking that up, thinking that said Bad Funny. Jesus Christ. Bad Bunny. I know I actually have not listened to any of Bad Bunny's music. I've heard I worked with a lot of Mexican people in a kitchen staff or in a kitchen, and they like him a lot. So I heard a lot about him. And it could have been that group of people. I don't know if he's like represented by Mexico or whatever, but I heard a lot about him from a very small group of people. To me, the greatest metal band of all time is Silent Planet. You know, it's always a good sign when somebody says a band that nobody's ever heard of. And I'm sure people have heard of them, but I've never heard of them. They're definitely not mainstream. Let's see here. Oh, they have a pretty recent release. That's good to see. I like it when people have old and new releases. 2014 is their first album. I like their titles. I like their shit. Not content with typical Christian metalcore pieties, Silent Planet turned the night god slept into a challenging spiritual meditation on mankind's fall and ultimate redemption, from songs about the exploitation of women to the horrors of Nazi Germany and Hiroshima. Raw-throated vocalist Garrett Russell and his bandmates don't flinch at confronting the bleak side of humanity while searching for healing and grace. Jazz, classical, and ambient touches temper SP's aggressive attack, lending a cinematic grandeur to harsh and hopeful tracks like Depths 2. You know, that is enough to make me give this album a listen. That's enough. I'll give their very first album a total listen. I'll literally, even if I hate every song back to back, I'll still listen to it from start to finish in order to judge it. The songwriter is an actual psychologist. Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican. Oh, okay. I don't want to seem... I'd rather seem like an uncultured idiot than like I'm being mean to the guy, if I'm being honest. I just didn't know where he was from. I'd rather... like, if anything, I need to be seen as an idiot who didn't know, not somebody who doesn't like the guy for him being from somewhere. Just... And... I don't know. I just don't know shit, man. I don't be knowing things very often. So he's American.
Do you have a matching relic? Reactant. The enemies are dropping reactant. Keep fighting.
He is from the side of my side of the planet, Puerto Rico. Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, you. Fuck.
That's it. You
Oh right.
finish your mission.
United Kingdom or some shit. If I remember right now. I've guessed where quite a few people live, viewer wise, so I can't. It's blending. Imagine dying as Revenant. I almost did. I'm going to be honest. I don't actually exactly understand how Mesmer Skin works other than basically making you invincible and stunning everything around you. All I know is I need to keep casting it before it runs out. Or before that 7 turns to 0. Like, I always kind of wonder, like, can anything still kill me at all when I'm like this? And does this scale?
The enemy is broken.
Are there any good Revenant augments?
Extraction.
Ah, I get the appeal now. You know, it does get like... I can see why people play Revenant. Not just because he's invincible, but because I can run a few more quality of life mods. Because I don't necessarily need, like, Rolling Guard or Adaptation. Huh. That sounds kind of nice. His ultimate endlessly scales? Fuck yeah. It's based on the damage taken by the Mesmer Skin, so the harder they hit, the harder he hits. I'm Puerto Rican, but I have lived all over the world. Is it your job that keeps you moving around? Or is it just you? I kind of want to move to, like, okay, so I'm in the Midwest, and I'm in a place, if you speak geographically and statistically, the cost of living here is in a really healthy place. The wages here are not. I know, like, the federal minimum wage is $7.25, but we can't pretend like there's... Most jobs out there are fucking offering a lot more than that. Like there's a Hideaway Pizza that offers like starting pay at like $16 an hour, $18 an hour. So anyways, the cost of living here is pretty decent. Cost of everything is pretty all right. The cost of rent is one of the better in the United States. So the only trouble I have with moving is that if I go anywhere else, my money will feel less valuable. Things will be more expensive. And I'm kind of in the opposite situation. So if I lived in like California and then moved here, I would feel rich. But if I live here and then move to like Colorado or California or Utah or Maine or any of the places that I've considered living in, I basically become, I go from like middle class to super low class. And like, I can't afford shit there. And like, of course, you know, jobs pay more over there and whatnot. And like people spend more money and stuff. But the thing is like the gap between how much we get paid and how much things cost here is a lot smaller than the gap in other states. And regardless of all of that shit, we don't have that bad of traffic. The worst backup you get around here is like 20 minutes and you've got an exit, you can avoid it. So there's like a bunch of things that keep me being like, fuck, man, I really, really, really want to move. But on the other hand, it's so easy to live here. It's so easy. My job, yeah. Spent a year in Japan, Korea, UK, all over the US, etc. Okay. How was I'm gonna guess. So I might a little lack of culture is gonna show here.
But are you confident you can
You say you've been to Korea. Does Korea, and it's all right if I'm stupid, I don't actually care if I am. Is when people say Korea, does that mean both North and South or every country there? Like I'm sure I'm gonna sound really dumb right now, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather be dumb for a moment and ask a question than just never know. Because what I'm curious of is if you went to North or South Korea, and I'm wondering if whenever you say Korea, you possibly mean both, or 'cause I'm pretty sure it's just those two there. I'm willing to accept there's something I don't know about it. I guess that's the better way to put this. I may not be stupid. I'm willing to accept that I don't know. I may not know something. South, I can't go to North. That's kind of what I figured. So I was about to be like, if you went to North, I was about to ask you a whole lot of more questions. But since you went to South, I only have a few. Did you like it? Is gaming culture as big there as I'm led to believe? And how's the food? I am honestly very afraid of plane travel. So I don't know if I'll ever go there. I've been on more planes than I'd like to have ever been on, but they and I'm not just like scared of planes. Like I feel like I can't fall asleep on the plane because I'm so scared I'll have a dream the plane is crashing. And that's how bad I don't want to experience a plane crash. And I know like it's statistically safer, but you know, every time there's a plane crash, there is somebody in it. And I know that like cars are more dangerous, but I don't want to be in a plane accident. Just the terror of knowing that you are going to crash soon is pretty scary. Now I have a friend who's a pilot. I had a friend who was a pilot. He actually was a pilot teacher. He would teach people. That one out, kitty. And he explained to me that in quite almost every single plane crash scenario, you are going to go unconscious real fast. Like long before the plane contacts any type of physical object, you're going to go unconscious very fast. Movies are not good representation of what happens in a plane crisis. Most people faint for a while or they're like very discombobulated and shit. I'll be right back. My cat is very upset with something.
As you conquer the foe, so you conquer yourself.
Ooh. Japan is my favorite place I have ever been to. Okay, let's see. South, I can't. All right. Living in Korea, 8 out of 10. Really? I mean, I'm not over here like I expected it to be bad. I just didn't expect it to be like that close to a 10. Most people don't give most living situations anywhere close to a 10. Food was 11 out of 10. Japan is my favorite place I have ever been to or lived. I need to Google something really fast because I don't think I'm familiar with Korean food. What do they cook like? No, I haven't. I wouldn't be able to make some of this stuff. I wouldn't know how. Like I know what Korean food is, but what I'm trying to find out is like what ingredients are extremely common. Like the UK uses a lot of fucking potatoes, right? And we use like a lot of butter. Stuff like I'm trying to figure out what kind of stuff they like to cook with. Their plates look really nice. Let's see, what do we have here? We got rice. I don't know what that is. There's just whole garlic cloves? What the fuck? What is that? Oh, those are artichoke hearts. Okay. What? That's not any better. Who the fuck eats that? That meat looks good. I think that's pork. I bet that's pork. Okay. Their plates look nice. What kind of meats is it? Ooh, what is this? Korean barbecue. Okay, what do we have here? What is that? I guess I should be. I need to find a way to look at this stuff somewhere else. Man, some of this food looks really good. I think I could cook some of this stuff. I could tell this is all very. It's all very. It's very stock based. A lot of this food seems to be very, very, very stock based. Like it depends on if you have good vegetable stocks. Which you know what? I can tell you about foods that look like depend on stocks and liquids. Those usually come from countries that have historically been like poorer and stuff, because stock is something that is like, or it is something that comes from harder existing times, because stock is a byproduct of a lot of other products usually. So it shows like a lack of waste. Usually when there's this many foods that are liquid based, they are using the leftover sauces and juices from a lot of stuff. So with that being said, this shit all has to be really tasty. But I would never fucking touch any of this. There's literally like, I look at every one of these pictures here and someone else is here. What's up, Allie? Well, say something. Say something. Yeah, I would never eat any of this food. I don't care what Korean dish you put in front of me. I'm not going to eat any of it. These are all foods that I'm not even willing to try. I'll taste them. I'll swallow a bite. But that's it. I don't know what the fuck that is. That looks like a liver. That looks like a fucking liver. Okay. I see noodles, corn, and tomatoes in a bowl. Excuse me? I'm so confused right now. All right. Sorry. Food really entertains me. Sorry about the squirreling off there. I have a... Oh, my cookbooks are in the kitchen. I have a Korean cookbook. Korean cuisine, something or another. It's like this big and it costed like $35 fucking dollars. I haven't fucked with it at all. I haven't been ready to take on those kinds of foods because okay, I do know a little bit about it. Like a lot of I do not know how to make noodles. I don't know how to do that. I can do it. I've said this before. I can go in my kitchen with the ingredients that I have and I can make you noodles, but they might taste like bread. They might be bread. They might be boiled bread. My wife is Vietnamese, Japanese. Wow, I really fucked up putting an A there, didn't I? So I am surrounded by god tier food all the time. She's mixed.
Void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a
You know, like a victory. Okay, I like to consider a victory as a foodie. Like if you end up with like a mixed girl, right, who's got really good like your wife, who cooks really well. And on the other hand, for the ladies, I know how lucky my wife is.
You need more to open that relic.
Like I know. And it's funny because some foods I'll be super unhappy with and she'll be over there like, this is literally the best I've ever had this in my life.
That's it. You open
Like nobody has ever made this good. And I'm like, well, you know, I could have done this and there should be a pan sauce with it, but I fucked up the pan sauce, so we just went with regular gravy that I made from over here. She's like, it's really good. Yeah, but it could be better. Like I always feel like my food could be better. But that's yeah, that's part of it. And Seer, I wanted to speak on this yesterday. You called me a psychopath for cutting those oranges like that. So I used to go when I worked at a place called Basque. I would show up every day an hour before I was supposed to be there. And everybody, well, not everybody loved it. Most people didn't know I did it because everybody else showed up on time, but my sous chef and my chef really loved it. I would show up and I would blow through my tasks, dude. I would cut like a 9 pan of green onions and 9 pan of chives. I would make aioli. I would do other prep shit for the sous chef. I would do 4 or 5 things off the busy work list. And by the time everybody else was showing up at 3, which is only an hour later, I was already stepping off of my station and helping people set up their stations. And one of the things that one of the guy worked down from me and made salads, the pantry chef, he did not like cutting those oranges like that. He had a tough time with it. So I would do that task for him every single day. I would cut like 15 oranges like that. And I would also, we did crisp Fuji apples that way too. God, those snacks, dude, snacking in a fancy kitchen, oh, dude, it is so nice. You get to eat like high quality, locally sourced produce and shit, dude. I also got to try stuff like calamari and caviar and blah, 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 blah. All that shit you hear about on TV shows. He took me out for a fancy caviar dinner. That shit is not good. It is objectively not tasty. Because I can tell you, like, onions are delicious. I hate them, but onions are delicious. I do not like them. Calamari is disgusting. I do not like it. It's gross. People who like it just want to feel cool because you're just eating an unchewable fucking onion ring. Caviar fucking sucks. Roe sucks. All the little tiny balls suck. They're very pretty and very nice looking, but they suck.
But are you confident you can withstand their fury?
They're the salt of the dish. You fucking suck my ass. They look,
Reactant to
fuck it. How good they look does not compensate for how stupid they taste. Fuck you and your caviar. I'll still put it on your stupid dish and sell it to you.
you have collected enough reactants to open the relic.
I might even throw that shit at the customer, bro.
There's a heavy
Fuck you and your caviar plate.
keep going.
Where am I?
Nobody knows you're here.
Not really. If they like it, they like it. I just don't. I hate the texture, hate the smell, everything. Everything's bad about it. There's nothing good about it. There's no pros. to caviar other than it looking good. That's it. I have some pictures in my phone. I'll put in Discord maybe in the next few minutes of dishes I've made with caviar. It looks like a piece of art. It does not look, I mean, and it does not, there's people who would look at that and be like, put that in my mouth. I love caviar. Good for you, people. Good for you, you fucking weirdos.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
My wife just said caviar is one of those things you just pretend to like when you are insecure. Exactly. Exactly. You either are the type of person who can stomach things they don't like the taste of, or you aren't. And if you are, you're able to fake liking caviar. And you do fake liking caviar. 100%. Like if, and you know what? If people judged me for going to the dinner and being like, I don't want to try caviar, I don't want them fucking people as my friends. Or they can learn how to be friends with me. And you know what? About when it comes to fine dining, almost every single chef who's worth their weight in salt, if you roll up in that motherfucker and you tell the host or your server, sorry, hey, do you think I could talk to the chef? The chef is going to come out there and he's going to talk to you. And you can say, hey, man, I'm sorry, but I'm not finding anything on your menu that I'm liking. Do you think that you could make me something stupid, American, simple to eat, like chicken strips and french fries? And you know what that chef's going to do? He's going to go hand bread you some chicken strips and he's going to make you some french fries, and you're going to be a very happy person. So when you go to the fine dining place, don't feel like you have to eat caviar. Ask for a cheeseburger so you don't get murdered. Anybody get that reference? She makes all her noodles, rice, wheat, and shit by hand? Ooh. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. She's not professionally trained, but her mom is super demanding when cooking. Listen. Listen. There is a distinction between good cook and good restaurateur. She's still a good cook. It doesn't matter if she's got like training or not. Like there are home cooks who will dog walk me in a taste test or like making stuff. Like I'm happy about it. Being able to step into the chaos of a kitchen is a talent in and of itself, and I don't hold that in the same category as your ability to cook. She's fucking insane at cooking. I've eaten all over the world. She beats everybody. A lot of it, so, yeah. And I'm not like this could come wrong, but it's not meant that way. It's very easy to have foods taste much better at home or house made because you're getting ingredients that don't have things in them to prolong their life. Like, for example, like peanut butter, just a super simple example. Peanut butter, it has a lot of stabilizing agents in it, which heavily detracts from the taste that is available with peanut butter. But if you just go to the store and buy honey roasted peanuts and put them in a blender and pull the lid off and push it around every 30 seconds, within 10 minutes, you'll have house-made peanut butter and you'll be like, what the fuck? This is so good. It is very nice to like make things at home. Like house-made noodles makes a difference because you're using flour, eggs that you bought, that you have on the shelf. You're not using flour and eggs that someplace cooked and then froze and then put in a package and then mailed to you. Yeah, she is also adamant on using everything fresh. Everything, it's a nightmare sometimes. Yeah. You could describe my kitchen that way, and going to get ingredients like that for me sometimes as well.
if I am lacking one of the appropriate ingredients, our dinner plans will change. We're either going to get 2 things from the store or we're having pizza rolls. You know, I am going to make a recommendation to you and her. If she's a good cook, she's probably interested in good utensils as well. There's a brand called Kiwi, like the fruit, kiwi. And they make a knife kit for around $60. And it comes with a cleaver, a chef knife, and something else. I think it comes with 4 total knives. They're like $20 each, which makes them cheap knives. But they are some of the best cheap knives that anybody in the world can own. Almost every professional I've ever worked with has a set of Kiwis, and they love them, and they're our daily drivers. And the only reason I don't have them is because I have a very similar set of knives. The ones you saw in my picture yesterday, those look like expensive Japanese knives, but it's actually just 40 or 50 bucks off of Amazon. And it's another one of those brands that's like, hey, is cheap, works like it isn't. So I recommend, or because you're such a fucking awesome viewer, that she buys those, or you give me a mailing address, like a P.O. box or a work address I can send you some to. Because they maintain well, they clean up well, they don't have gaps to keep that, like they're functional. They don't have those stupid gaps in them that like food and water gets caught up in, the wood doesn't rot, the wood's appropriately treated. They're I don't know if they're handmade, but they might as well be. She has Japanese knives. Hell yeah. They're still like, no matter how many knives a person has or how many nice knives they have, I always recommend a set of Kiwis. I'm gonna do this in a minute because I actually like a scammer showed up in my chat and started asking me questions and I showed them my knives and it kind of made me sad. So I'm gonna go get my chef kit in a moment and I'll show off a couple of my knives. I have a few German knives and I like sadly, like this is a pain to say, but one of my German knives has one favorite of every knife I have because its performance continues to just blow me the fuck away. And it does that thing, right? It does that thing. I don't know what she uses, but I remember paying $1,000 on kitchen shit. Ooh. I think my entire knife set might be $1,000. Honestly. Most of mine weren't expensive. And that's not a naysay. That's not being like you guys made a mistake. Or she bought the wrong shit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm actually on a wait list for several knives. So as soon as I get an opportunity to purchase them, I will have also spent thousands of dollars on knives too. There's a bunka, a blue-handled Azure bunka I've been waiting for 2 years. And about 5 others. There's a Japanese maker that makes them, obviously. And I have not been lucky enough to get the email and show up fast enough yet to buy one in 2 years. So, yeah. One day I will see that email when it's only 5 minutes old and I will get one. One day. One day. All right. She said she has heard of the Kiwis and wants them because the knives she has are specific tasks and I don't know what she means. A knife is a knife to me. I'll explain in a second.
Extraction is ready, unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Oh no. So I've got a whole like kit here, right? Select a relic. I meant to extract Ocido cuz, but won't be that hard to stay. So in most cases, a knife is a knife, and you can use one knife for everything. But like this little bitty guy here is like a cheap, like $20 one that is very good for coring tomatoes and very good for cutting tomatoes. This one is very good for like lettuce and long stuff when you need the knife itself to have a little weight to it so you can do a little less of the work with your hand. That kind of thing. Speaking of caviar, I have a caviar spoon. And then like this one, for example, this one's kind of ridiculous, but it's very nice because it has a lot of its own weight to it. And when you get done cutting stuff, you can scrape sideways and use this as like a delivery tool to keep your station a little cleaner as you work and to help you transport stuff quicker. And then, you know, you've got a serrated knife, which serrated knives, contrary to popular belief, aren't exactly the best. Oh shit. Aren't exactly the best for all the things you think they're the best for, per se. You think a serrated knife is best for bread. That's not true. Most of the time, you'll have a much better time cutting bread with a chef knife or any other knife. And funny enough, if you want to cut butter, using a serrated knife is almost the best thing you can do. This is like a slicer for like big pieces of meat. This one is extremely fucking sharp. And then this is my daily driver. The one that I said keeps winning every day is this little guy here, this German knife. This rounded edge has managed to come sharp over the years, and I've managed to round it just a little bit more, and it gives me just a smidge of play that I love to fucking use. And then we got this guy. This is another big favorite. A lot of people love these. They're called tournay knives or duck beak knives or beak knives or something like that. Crow's beak or some shit. People got all kinds of names for this stuff that just is whatever they want to call it. And, you know, I've got like paintbrushes and scoopers and spoons and all kinds of other shit. Notebooks in here. I've got bandages, recipes. I've got hand lotion. I've got thank you letters. I've got notes from customers in this bitch. I have chef gifts in here, like departure gifts other chefs have given me. Got all kinds of stuff in that bag, man. But yeah, those are a lot of my knives. And it's sometimes like most knives will cut things. It's just how much you need to cut at once and how much of the work you have to do. But your sentiment is mostly true, and I actually know a lot of chefs that have that ideology that a knife's a knife. I need to cut stuff, and I'm gonna make this one work for me. And I've seen chefs who will hold when they need to do like clean fine work. They'll literally just grab their 8-inch chef knife by the blade and hold it by the blade like the blade's the handle, and they'll do their fine work like that. And something I tell people all the time. I don't fucking care how you dice the onion. I care that you give me a diced onion. I literally don't fucking care how you do it. If you want to hold a goddamn sword by the tip and you want to carve the pieces out one by one, I literally don't fucking care. That's how I instruct people whenever they're like, how would you like to... Because something in the food industry is a lot of people think that a lot of newer people hold your vegetable prep and stuff like that to a weirdly high standard. And I try to explain to people as often as I can, do what works for you that gives you the best result in the most efficient amount of time. Don't do it like me. My hands are fucking weird. My fingers bend all funny. Like, don't fucking ask me how I do it. I will tell you, I will see if it works for you, but just work on getting faster at whatever works for you. And even when it comes to me, like I won't give somebody a definite way on how to use a knife because I evolve every week. When I do the same task every week, I look to improve it slightly every single fucking time I do it. I was down to having like 2 or 3 hours of prep done in 15 or 20 minutes in most of the kitchens I've been in. 'Cause I just want to know how to do it more efficient and faster. That's where my satisfaction comes from. Okay. She said she has heard of the Kiwis. Allie, stop staring at walls. That's not good. I told her you hated caviar and she responded, I trust him entirely to be a great cook. Yeah. Yeah. It's like any good mechanic will tell you that every car is a piece of shit. To be eligible, you must have... we are 1 minute from Baro. I am out of here. Puck. What's up, Allie? How you doing?
So you conquer yourself.
So too falls fortune from. This place is no longer your concern.
10 seconds. He's here. Yep. There he is. I'm not going to look at what he's got yet. I'm going to get my ducats first. Let's see. Exceltra, fuck off. I do want Alternox, Compressa, Mesa, Trumna, Zaku, Aka Bronco, if here is, Vault. I might hold on to your rally pieces. Because I have the 3. I think anything I have a complete set of, I might hold on to. But I also don't care that much. It's not like I can't get this stuff again. Not even gonna think twice. Don't care. All right, what do we have? Prime Smite the Murmur. Fuck, I don't think that's as good as... I think that's pretty good. Allie, here's something for you. You need this. Get it. Primed Pistol Ammo Mutation. I'm gonna buy that. I don't know if I need it. For this shit. For Seer. I will make Seer good no matter the cost. Prisma dual cleavers, fucking give them to me. Again, don't care if they're good. I want them. I like the Prisma stuff. I'm buying all of it. Prime Chilling Grasp. I'm gonna bet that that's probably necessary. Oh, there's a drone. In some colors. What else do we have? Prisma Grinlock? What else? We have another drone? Oh, no, it's a skin. Right. Mesa Immortal skin. It's actually pretty cool. Primed Cleanse Orican. Pretty good Bane mods. I don't know if this is the best way to get them, but... Ooh, Domestic Katir drone. It's expensive. Okay. Mods. I bet the Bane mods aren't a horrible idea to get for like in-game shit, but I don't know if there's a better place to get them. Jolt, I don't know. There might be a better place to get it. Actually, I think I looked up Jolt yesterday and it's actually not super easy to get your hands on. I don't know where you can get that or how easy it is to get, but I want it, so I got it. And I'm pretty sure Prime Chilling Grasp is like almost a necessity, if I had to guess.
I just knew I'd have something you'd like.
Kind of lame cosmetics. I don't know if these weapons are really that good. They seem okay, but I like them. And of course I'm going to buy a shader pack. What is the relic? Let's see. Forma, a vault? Why is it always vault, dude? Is it vault every fucking week? Gravlifter factory? What? Is that a decoration? Alright, so that... And... I think that would drip well with mag. Like really well.
You're one of my favorite customers.
You're one of my favorite customers. I bet. Bane mods are mandatory. I thought so. I just don't know if there's a better like I don't want to try to be the de facto information source if this is the best source for them. And I'm pretty sure this is the only place you can get them,
Oh, apologies.
isn't it? So it might be the only source for them. I don't every time I read the recommendations from somebody else, I'm like, ooh, I think that's really necessary. And the recommendations are like safe to skip. You can get it elsewhere. And I'm like, well, fuck. Let me get a legendary core.
If you like that, come back next time I'm in the relay. I'll have something
Exilus
extra
weapon
special
adapter.
for you.
Sick. What the fuck are these Prime mods?
Bring back such
Yeah, they may not be the most useful for you, especially if you're not trying to like squeeze the like last bit of damage out of your shit. If you're not trying to, if you're not hurting for one of those, I could see how you're like, fuck.
I always wanted my own.
Because Bane mods are really important, but if they're not important to you yet, I can understand how his inventory is kind of a bummer. Because I get it. All right, don't I have the pieces to craft? Was it Urelli? What? Let's see. Whatever. Damn, a 24-hour resource booster. Tough. Hey, it's a good time to go mining in Cetus and Fortuna.
But watch
Really good time for that.
to steal a bite on the way here would be much more fun.
You will not regret it. Baro has Jolt. Nice. I mean, I know, but yep. I'm going to just eat dinner and then go do SP Cascade. So funny. It is 8 a.m. for me right now, and you're talking about dinner. I love that you're in a different part of the world. That shit feels special. I should probably get that AoE skin for Mag. Yes, you should.
Your weapons make music, and the enemy calls for a song.
Yes.
Void fissures. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand?
Yeah, I think... I'm not sure what happened to me yesterday, but I think I just drank a lot of coffee very quickly because I ended up with like this weird head rush that just turned my whole body into like a fucking pain factory. Or it was like, it felt like I drank too much caffeine because I have like 2 cups of coffee a day, maybe 3 these days. And last night on stream, I made a big tall cup of coffee and I fucking drank it all so fast that I'm over here like, yeah, that probably did it. And then I'm also looking a little sideways at Chick-fil-A because I had Chick-fil-A yesterday. Something turned me into a fucking knot and I did not like it.
You have broken their ranks
And it was literally like,
another successful
barf, chill, feel better. When I am able to get plat. Yeah. Whoop. Came back after 5 minutes and said all the coffee came out. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if anybody made it here. But I regretted ending this stream and not just pausing it because I felt better so fast and I was like, damn, I'll just go restart it. Then I restarted it and I chilled for a few minutes. I was like, yeah, you know what? I feel like I'm going to end up getting off in the next hour anyways, so I should probably just call it now before people show back up. It could have. It could have. It's a good time to mention that. We all got sick in the last week, so we all have a doctor's appointment coming up soon. And there's like normally when you get sick, you don't really feel like you have to go see somebody, but we should go see somebody. Just to be sure. There may be the reason we got sick could be somebody's fault. So we have to go make sure we dot our T's and cross our I's with that whole fucking situation. So mag skin is your giveaway item now. Heard. And you know, I had blood work done a few months ago. And this is actually kind of a goofy story, right? So we were getting all of our insurances and stuff sorted out and life insurance and whatnot. And they wanted to do like a checkup on me, right? And I was like, yeah, okay. When? And they were like, how about Sunday at 8 a.m.? And I was like, okay, sounds good to me. And I knew full well in my fucking head, I wasn't going to go. Like, I knew 100% in my fucking head, I'm not going to that checkup at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning or 2 days from now morning. So I wake up at the normal old man time of like 4:30 in the morning or 5 that day. And I start thinking to myself, I've got to cancel this appointment because I don't want to fucking go. I then realize I don't know where the appointment is. I don't know what doctor's office to call. I don't know where to go. I don't even know what doctor's office I was going to go to. So I just go, you know what? I just won't show up. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want today. And you know what happened? Around 7:59 a.m. in the morning, my doorbell rang. The doctor came to my fucking house. Of course, insurance has my address on file. I just missed the detail where they were going to send the doctor to my home. So this lady comes in, dude. And this is when I'm still working in like restaurant industry. So even though I've been up, I am not happy about it. And she comes in my house happy as a fucking clam, bro. She is in this bitch just so happy. Oh man, I almost punched that bitch in the face. Come in my house half cocked like this ever again. 8 in the morning, having a good attitude? Have you lost your fucking mind? This is America. We're angry until noon. Anyway, so they did the entire check at my house. And you know, whenever you go get blood work done, there's always like this, especially when you cross the age of 30, there's always this like, okay, have I become, do I have like low blood? Do I have like, what problems am I going to have? And my favorite thing about the medical industry is if you don't have any problems, they don't call you. So you just get to spend a few days going, when are they going to call me? And then it takes about a week for you to go, they're probably not going to call me. You see how Advice ignored me calling him a goat? I revoked that title. I actually didn't notice it.
The art of combat
It's the goat of ice. I see it.
to truly master the canvas of war.
Time. You can just time him out, man. I'm okay with that. The most irresponsible thing Puck did, but got saved by insurance anyways. Yeah.
Void fishers, you need
Yep. They're doing their thing. You want to sleep past your doctor's appointment? We will ensure that you don't.
You're near a fissure. Collect reactant
Okay, I have gone the wrong way.
Be aware. Only corrupted enemies will drop it. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
What up, Fate Hook? How you doing? I'm preparing my food to eat. Dude, it's okay. We're not in the 1800s anymore. You can just say, I'm finna eat, bruh. I am preparing my feast for consumption.
That's it. You opened the relic.
Where am I?
Take a look inside.
Oh, hell yeah. By the time I'm out for a long time. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Proper English ass. When I was like 17, I made a fake Facebook account, and all I would do is go around spell checking people and correcting their grammar, dude.
Now get to extraction.
And my favorite part of doing that was I would only ever respond exactly fucking once. Right? So they would be like, they'd say some shit, I'd spell check them, and they would be like, fuck you, grammar Nazi. And I would just be like, fuck you too, terrible speller. And they would respond like 4 times, and I would just never talk again. Like there was a 0%. Oh my gosh. Fuck me. I'm struggling, dude. That was tough. Ooh. So you brought your customer service voice into here. You got to be hyper mega old if you say grammar Nazi. Yeah. Yep, that's a 90s term. Did I give it away that I was born in the 60s? Sorry, 90s. 6'9", same thing. Oh no, they've all changed. I'm looking for captures right now. Or exterminates. Actually, I think this exterminate on Steel Path looks tasty. Where'd it go? Oh, it's about to expire. I saw it had 4 seconds left. You met Jesus in person, gave him some weed, and that's how the Bible was written. Literally because of Puck is in his turbo advanced age. Oh no, look, I gave Moses mushrooms. That's what I did. I gave Moses mushrooms. Well, actually what I did was I caught this bush on fire in front of him called an acacia bush,
Find, capture, and extract our target.
which is
Void fissures. You need them to
smoke from that made him really high,
withstand their
made him hallucinate some shit, and then I gave him a rock, and I said, bro, whatever you find out in there, write it down and bring it back to me. I'll go wait down the hill for you. So I went down the hill while he was on this crazy high, and he came down and he tripped and broke the tablet that I gave him. So he had to do it again. We had to catch another bush on fire.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
That's where the 10 Commandments comes from. He did a whole bunch of DMT. Came back feeling real nice. You guys should be nice to each other, bro. That's how old I am. I'm so old, my serial number, my social security number is 1. Probably what Moses encountered was not burning bush, but rather a burning kush. There's actually, so there's a book out there. I can't remember the name of it. Good luck finding it. You'll just have to search some keywords from the shit I'm about to say. But there is a, there's a real good argument that that shit was heavily influenced by mushrooms and DMT. It is heavily implied. It's a very fun thought experiment. My SSN is also Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, that tracks. Dude, your nuts are Fruity Pebbles. Slap your nuts and it sounds like a bag of sand.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Should explain why the wife gargles them like the world is ending. Yeah. Because they taste good. Hey, at least you can make your own cereal. One unread message in my mailbox. Is it telling me that Baro's here? Oh my god, it is. Why does there have to be 3 fucking requiems right now? I can't imagine they'll be asleep much longer, so I'm just gonna work on the tinted weapons.
Taken. Look elsewhere.
Fossil seems right. I am stoned. I'm gonna go fossilize myself, dude. 'Cause I'm hard as fuck.
This is a mobile
I don't know. You got, yeah.
payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into
I understand your requirement for me to talk less.
resistance. I can't do this without you.
By the way, Puckaloid, if you fit and check Silent Planet, check everything was sound as the best PTSD song ever. Hell yeah, dude, I love PTSD.
This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal
Um,
and prepare for enemy.
Hey, if you, since you are clearly interested or entertained by things that are a good bit anti-political or like, I don't know if I really want to call them anti-political. I want to call them political bullshit beacons. Like, they kind of let you know the nonsense going in the world, right? You should really give. I know even if you do or don't like rap or Everlast, I've championed this album before. You should listen to Love, War, and The Ghost of Whitey Ford
Still working on it.
by Everlast. And if you don't want to listen to the whole album, no biggie, at least listen to Letters from Home. Wait, no. Letters Home from a Garden of Stone, which means it is that sentence is metaphor from letters I sent home from a mass grave that I created.
Stay
and it's very good. It's really, really nice. And the entirety of the song is basically about what it's like to go into the military as a single individual. Not like as somebody who's not married or whatever. It's like what it's like to be there, and it's just you, bro. Like, even though you're surrounded by comrades and homies, like, you're not gonna know the guy who kills you, and et cetera, et cetera. It's very, it pays a lot of attention to what soldiers really go through. And that's something I like. If any artist mentions that in their music, I love it. I really do, because those, I don't care how you feel politically, even a little bit. Those were not good times for soldiers. The war that followed the attacks was not good for our people. They went through some very, very moral compass eroding decisions, and a lot of them, there's a reason our government considers it the biggest blunder in American history, and the people who fought on the front lines are paying a big price for that. So anybody who makes a song about it is really good. How's my respect? I do love rap. Not sure why you think I don't. I love metal and rap. If I'm being honest with you, it's just I'm stereotyping you. Most people that like metal aren't exact, like the rap world isn't where they find themselves. And I also like, I find rap to be something I need to preface with that with most people. Like, I usually try to say, I know you may not like it. And that's just an extra testament to the fact that even if you don't like it, you will like this. Yeah, I don't know why I keep saying you don't either. I'm just ignorant. I'm not even going to lie. Praise me for my valor, lay me on my crimson tower, justify my endless terror as my finest hour. Yeah, dude. I have more musical tattoos than I really thought I did. I have Zomboy and Excision logos tattooed on both of my knees. And I have lyrics from Float On by Modest Mouse in 2 different places. I actually have a few. I didn't really think about that much.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Anyways, with that being said, you will like the album then. There's a lot of really good fucking songs on there, man. A lot of really good songs. There's a song in there called Die in Your Arms Tonight. Dude, that shit is so good. I'll tell you what. We're gonna learn something today. We're gonna learn whether or not I pay any price for what I am about to do. Let's see. macOS audio, add existing, iMusic, okay. I think what's going to happen once I do this is Content ID is going to restrict part of my video on YouTube. And then I'm not sure what'll happen. I actually think this is the learning moment. I'm going to figure out what happens if I play music on my stream. Because I know most people get away with it and shit, but it's not like it's not like I want to just have that attitude. It's fine, most people do it. Let's see. Music. All right. Let's get the album version of it locked in. Okay. So I think I have this set up right. Let's go ahead and bring game audio down, music down, and let's bring... I'll leave my mic up for now. All right, here we go. Maybe. No.
It does not look like we go. Okay, let's see here. Music, properties.
know I'm
Oh,
getting
I think that's
ready to
doing
kill.
it. It looks like it is. Let's pause it for a second, see if that stops. See if it starts. All right. Looks like we got it. All right, here's that song.
Sitting restless under the moonlight. I know I'm getting ready to kill. They say we're going in with the daylight. I don't want to, but I will. Cause I won't know the man that kills me. And I don't know these men I kill. I pray to God for my salvation. Wash away the blood I spill. I try not to think about my family. Cause it's a little too much to take. Out here I got me and I got my buddy. We can't afford even one mistake. Sorry about writing on dirty cardboard. It's the only paper that I can find. Tell everyone I got their letters. Tell everyone I'm doing fine. Late at night when I can dream I think about life back in the world. I miss you and Dad, I miss Sister Sarah. I miss my wife and my baby girl. Pray for me, pray for my soul, Mom. Pray for me and all my sins. They say that I got a job to do now. And I'll be back when it finally ends. Do you think I should be fighting? Are you proud? Are you ashamed? I really am trying to do the right thing. I hope my government can say the same. Cause I won't know the man that kills me. And I don't know these men I kill. And we all wind up on the same side. Cause ain't none of us doing God's will.
Yep, that's the song. That's it. That's one of them. I wasn't Rap You Scammer. No, but a lot of his, like, Everlast is a rapper, and a lot of his music, like that album, is a very variety album. Bro, why are you extracting without cracking the relic? Because I don't fucking care, man. Mind your own business.
Imagine me not caring so much that I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'll get it next time. And you caring so much that you're like, bro, why would you do this mission without cracking? I don't fucking care, man. Life goes on. Take 7 seconds out of your day to question what the fuck I'm doing. It's almost like it might take me another 3 minutes to go find the fucking reactant, because sometimes reactant's a pain in the ass on these missions. But it'll take me another 2 minutes to do the mission again. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just stupid. I actually I really love this map. And I never do this like the appropriate way. I always just like operator teleport through that shit or Wukong my way past it. Oh yeah. Oh shit. I'm eager to see what happens when I finish this stream, to see if content ID or any of those things are like, hey man, you can't play that shit. Because it's one thing to do it to Twitch. I'm pretty sure they have some different licensing stuff, but YouTube feels a very specific way about it. Like Twitch, you can post it, and Twitch doesn't do very much to identify it. YouTube, on the other hand, is like, hey, we recognize that sound. Are you allowed? And typically, what I think is going to happen is it's going to ask me to mute a specific spot of it. It's going to mute it for me, which is nice. What's up with the sad face, Allie? What's wrong? What is it? What is it? What's wrong? Shh. It's okay. Your potatoes will grow. Honestly, a little tired of that capture mission. I've literally been running the same one forever. Existing? It's okay. Existing is what's wrong. Today's not going to be good. Okay, how about some of these? Oh, as soon as I say it. Good morning. Get your stanky booty ass fingers out of my face. No. No. Won't happen. All right, guys. Family's waking up. It's time to go. I'm out of here. So, yeah. You guys have a wonderful day. I may or may not stream this evening. I don't know what today looks like. Yeah. Probably just gonna